Laura is a first-time caller out of Los Angeles. Laura, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse. How are you?
All is well. How you?
I'm good. Just waking up.
No woman is good. All is well.
Okay. So I've been watching your show for about a year now.
Did you say you just waking up?
Yeah.
Babe. Go ahead.
I've been watching your show for about a year now, and I really like what you have to say. And I'm just curious about a few things about how to address things that I'm struggling with.
Okay.
So I'm having a lot of emotional issues dealing with how I guess I see things. I don't know how to explain this. I get very jealous, and I don't know how to curb my jealousy.
Are you making breakfast or something?
No, I'm making a cup of coffee, so I'm awake for you.
Oh, okay. Well, the noise is distracting.
Okay, I'll stop that.
Okay,
Sorry.
no problem. Go ahead. So what about your jealousy?
So I'm having a lot of trouble curbing my jealousy, and I just was wondering, how can I change that?
And what are you jealous about?
Well, my boyfriend he works in the bar industry, and it makes me uncomfortable with all the women that are around, and I start to doubt myself and
I see.
Feel like there's a lot of temptation in that, and I don't know really how to, snap myself out of it when I'm feeling like I'm not enough.
And do you believe that your boyfriend would cheat on you or something?
I don't believe that, but part of me feels that.
That he will?
Yeah.
Oh. And who is jealous?
Me.
And who are you?
I don't know.
But how do you know you are jealous then?
Because a feeling comes inside of me and it kind of takes over, I suppose.
And are you your feelings?
No.
And so why you call that you?
I guess that would be evil.
And why do you call evil you?
You're right, it's not me.
No, that was a question.
I don't know. I guess it's the voice inside of yourself that I know that you say all thoughts are lies, and I shouldn't be, listening to that. So sometimes I'm letting my thoughts overtake everything, so that's why I would say it's me.
Can you see that you're not your thoughts?
Yes.
So why you believe in them?
I guess because in my life I've just depended on myself to, come up with conclusions after what I've seen.
And what self have you depended on?
Can you elaborate on that?
You said I have depended on myself to come up with conclusions. What self? Who have you depended on?
I guess my hurt self.
Are you your hurt self?
Sometimes.
You're never your hurt self. You feel the pain in your body that comes from thoughts, but you're not your thoughts, and you're not your pain, and you're not your body. If you want to, and I promise you this, I'm not just saying it to be whatever, right?
Yeah.
If you want to get over this idea of being jealous, stop thinking about it. Stop thinking about your boyfriend at work or the women around his job, if you stop thinking about it, it will disappear immediately because they're just thoughts. And you're believing thoughts and you're getting the feeling of jealousy, and none of it is real. It's all not real at all. If you stop thinking about it and let those thoughts pass and don't ever call them you again, you would never have fear of anything, not only jealousy, but you would never have fear of anyone or anything.
Okay.
It's just thought. All you're doing, you sit around and the thought tell you, oh, look at that pretty woman. Or look at that woman. Oh, he's going to be interested in that. You're not good enough. And then you try so hard to be good enough, and it's never be enough because you listen to evil. You're worshiping evil.
Mm.
You're not your thoughts. It's not real. And if you work on you, Lori, and don't even think about your boyfriend, what he may or may not be doing, if you do find out that he's messing around with another woman, you'll be like, oh, okay, see you later.
That's a good point.
It won't bother you at all because you are one with yourself. You are whole. Right now, you're not a whole person.
Yeah. How do you control yourself when you start to see yourself going in that direction? Like, let's say I notice that my brain is starting to overtake and I'm beginning to go in that direction. How can I stop myself?
Simply by noticing it and doing nothing about it. Let it happen inside of you. Let yourself think it, feel it, and do nothing about it. And because of ourselves, we can do nothing. Of ourselves, we know nothing. So let it happen. Watch it happen. And the fact you can see that those thoughts are telling you that about your boyfriend and the other women around, and you believe the thought, now you feel the spirit of jealousy. The fact that you are aware of it, it will be taken away from you. It's the awareness that will bring the change. But do not call it you. Don't try to run away from it. You live with it, you feel it, you stay with it, and then it would die. Because it's just all ego. It's not your nature. It's not you at all. And God said in order to live, you must die. He will destroy that dark spirit or those dark spirits inside of you. You can't do anything about it. You just need to be aware of it.
Okay. Yeah, I've been trying to turn back to God. I was raised Christian, and I turned away from my faith for, probably 20 years. And then in the last, I would say 2 years, I've been trying to get back to God. And a lot of me feels like because I turned my back, God might turn his back on me. So I feel like I'm trying to cry out to God and pray to God to, fix these parts of myself or get rid of anything that could be, spiritually attacking me. And so I'm having a hard time reconnecting with God and letting God back in and just trusting that God has me.
Well,
so I think that,
you've never turned your back on God. You've never been connected to God. The last time you were connected to God when you were a little baby before your mama traumatized you. And, but you've never turned your back on him. Your back was turned when you were a kid. And God would never, ever, 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 but never, no such thing as God turning his back on you, because God knows that it's not you that doing the things that you have done or thinking the way that you're thinking. So even when you were a little old Christian years ago, it was fake. But you have never turned your back on God, and he's never turned. You were forced to turn away from him by your mother when she turned you away from your father, your earthly father. And the problem now is you're yearning for the Father to return to the Father. And the way you return to the Father is by forgiving your mother for turning you away from the Father. because when she turned you away from your earthly father, she turned you away from God. And so you're just
Yeah.
lost out in the wilderness right now. And that longing for your boyfriend and all this kind of mess, looking for love, is really looking for the love of a father.
Yeah.
Have you gone and forgiven your mother?
No, I'm afraid to do it, to be honest. I've been really thinking about it a lot and wanting to do it, but because of my relationship with my family, it's something that's really has a lot of fear inside of me to call both of them up and talk to them about it, because I think that my mom's not going to understand it. So maybe if you could give me some advice on how to have an opening conversation about that so that she doesn't freak out on me.
Why do you need her to understand it? You understand you need to forgive, right?
Yeah.
That's the understanding you need. You don't need her to understand it at all. And however she acts is on her. That is her life, is her hell. Leave her in her hell, and you just work on you. Mom, I'm sorry. Mother, I'm sorry for resenting you. I realize now you couldn't help yourself because I have become like you. I can't help myself. I know now you can help yourself. I'm sorry for being mad at you. And if she yell, scream, or pretend not to understand it or understand it, that's fine. That's on her. God will forgive you when you apologize for judging her.
Mm.
You don't need anything from your mother
Mm.
or your father.
Okay. Yeah.
So whatever they say or do, you just watch them like you're watching a movie, knowing that they don't want, if they, however they act, is on them. They don't want to admit they're wrong, whatever. They have a right not to admit they're wrong. You have a right to admit you're wrong for judging.
Mm.
Because your mother has done to you what her mother did to her.
Mm.
And the fear that you are feeling, are you your fear? Are you the fear?
No, I'm not the fear.
So here's what I recommend with all things emotional and mental. You let that happen. Don't call it you, but do it anyway. Don't let the fear dictate your life. You're not the fear. The fear is not real. It has no power, no authority but to deceive you, to keep you from living your life.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I see that.
shaking your boot and deal with your mother and father. Shaking your boot. You know you're shaking. They don't know you're shaking.
I am. Yeah.
But they know you're shaking. So shake, and you'll see that God is with you. You'll be fine.
Okay. I will. I will do that.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
I do it sometimes. I need to do it more.
If you want life, you're going to have to practice being present. Instead of lost in your head, thinking about your boyfriend at work, how mean your mama is, or somebody else, or what other people think about you. Or you got to get away from thinking, and you can only do that by being present rather than thinking about the past or the future.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I do need to be more present. You're right.
And the more you practice being present, the freer you will become because you're going to see reality. Reality is in the present, not in the past or the future. Evil and deception is in the past or the future. Reality, the truth is in the now. It's right here, right now.
Right.
And so the next time the thought comes about your boyfriend, let's say you're at his job, I don't know where, but you're at his job, and those women be looking at him and rolling their eyes, and they want him. And say, oh, look, those women want him. You watch that thought, let it pass. Don't act on it, don't call it you. And you'll see they will have to leave you.
Mm. You're right. I do notice when I've dealt with it like that, it tends to just go by.
Hold on 1 minute for me. Hold on, Laura. Let me take a quick break. I want to go back to Laura. I had to put her on hold. First time I called her from Los Angeles. And she want to understand how to overcome jealousy. Laura, thank you for holding.
Hi.
Any other question?
Yeah. When I find myself getting into a really emotional state sometimes, and it's like too much to handle. So I'm curious how you can overcome when you're in an extreme emotional state. How can I get control of myself in that moment?
Let it happen. Live with it. Let it happen. God is trying to save you from that. Those are evil spirits because you can't have the emotions unless you have the thoughts. And so just realize I'm in a thought and I believe the thought and I'm feeling it. The emotions are bad. We had our fellowship yesterday. Every Sunday we have fellowship, and we had amazing fellowship. And I asked the congregation, if you had a fresh glass of water sitting in front of you, and another glass of water with poison in it, which one would you choose?
The fresh water.
And why?
Because I know it's good for me and I'm not going to die.
Well, every time you reach for a thought, every time you believe a thought, you're choosing the poison glass. Thoughts are poison, and every time you reach for one, you're dying. Dead people reach for thoughts, and they stay dead and they die. So you got to stop reaching for the poison. Thoughts are poison. So stop believing them. Stop calling them you. Stop reaching for them. Human beings reach for one thought as another thought as another thought, and they don't see that the thoughts are setting them up. They're not improving at all. They're just making things worse. Stop reaching for the glass with the poison in it.
Okay. That's a great analogy. I like that.
Yeah, just remember, every time you believe a thought or you look for another thought, you're reaching for the poison. You're literally killing yourself. People who live in thoughts or by thoughts or believe thoughts are dead. They're walking dead. Their eyes are open, but they're dead. They're dead to life.
Yeah.
We have to live, if you want real life, you got to live a no-thinking life. You got to stop thinking.
It's so hard for me, you know. I mean, I you're absolutely right, but it's, you know, because I'm so used to listening to my thoughts and, you know, being told that, you know, you need to think about things and all of that, so that it's like when it comes to that, there's a part of my brain that's like, no, you're supposed to think. So I think that's a challenge, is breaking down what I've taught myself or been taught throughout my life.
Yeah.
You know?
You escaped into thoughts when you were traumatized by your mother. You used to be innocent as a kid, as a little kid. You believed in the present. You believed in God. You were one with the Father. And you knew the truth without even thinking about it. But then when your mother traumatized you, you escaped into your imagination trying to survive, and you forgot about the truth, and you only know the lie.
Yeah, definitely. I see that.
So just doubt all thoughts, no matter what they are. And if you're caught up in them, and you will be for a while, and you feel the pain that comes from thought, don't do anything about it. Don't deny it. Don't run away from it. Just see it. Being aware of what's happening on the inside of you is overcoming. The Father he's trying to help you change your nature from evil to good.
Yeah.
So
I see that.
So do the silent prayer, stay present, forgive your mother and your father, and you'll be fine.
Okay, thank you for that. And by the way, I voted for the Great White Hope.
The Great White Hope. I have on my Donald Trump inauguration shirt today.
Yeah, I saw that.
Amazing.
Yeah. So let's hope for the great change this year, and I'm going to take what you've said today and apply it to my life.
Let me know how it goes.
Thank you, Jesse. I appreciate you.
And are you aware of our Sunday morning fellowships?
Yeah, I've been a little bit nervous to come in person because I feel like I'm such a mess.
You still giving it to fear. That's not you. Don't do what the thoughts tell you to do. You come anyway.
Okay.
And then the women's meeting on Thursday night. Oh, amazing. There's going to be a lot of women who are working on themselves.
Okay, I'm definitely going to come to that. That was my first plan of action, to come to the female night.
Yeah, and Sunday morning as well, right? You got to work on you now.
Okay, I will.
And don't let the devil talk you out of it, because evil would tell you why you should not go to the meetings. Or evil would tell you that you don't feel like it, or next time, or not today. It's never you. You're never the one that talks to yourself. It's always evil talking to you. Yeah,
you're right.
I wish you well.
Thank you. I wish you well, too. Have a great week.
You too. Amazing. Bye now. Monica out of Michigan. Monica, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hello, Jesse.
Hey, Monica.
I love you, and you woke me up to a lot of stuff. I don't believe in racism anymore.
Right on. And I love you back.
And I'm not afraid to say that I obey my man.
Nice.
I think he's the smartest man in the world. And I just love him. We don't argue. We have no anger. And the only thing is, I just started, I pray, but I'm not sure if I'm doing it right. And do I pray to God or do I pray to Jesus? How do I start off my prayer?
You pray by just be still and watch those thoughts. You know not what to ask for. You know not what you want. You know not what you need. So all you need to do is, are you doing the silent prayer?
No.
And why not?
I'm not sure how to do the silent prayer.
Go to rebuildingtheman.com/prayer, and it will show you how to do it. And you just be still, and God will guide you, and he will add everything unto you. It'll be perfect.
Well, I just feel a little guilty because I just started praying because I started having seizures out of nowhere. And I feel guilty because it's like I'm only praying because I need him now.
Well, that's all right. Whatever brought you to him, that's fine. You don't need to feel guilty.
Okay.
Whatever caused you to try to return to the Father is fine. Sometimes it takes pain. Most people, it takes pain for them to return to the Father. So you're fine. He's not judging you for that at all.
Okay.
And I want to encourage you, though, do your little hoop and holler. I wouldn't recommend you do it because you're praying to the devil. You don't even know what you want, right? I would just be still and let him guide you. Let God. He know your heart. He want to change your heart from anger to love, and he a guy. He want to take over.
Okay.
So do the silent prayer. And when you say you're feeling guilty, who feel guilty?
I feel guilty for asking for him to help me when.
And who are you?
Because now I need him. Me.
And who are you?
Monica.
Who are you? That's your name. Who are you?
I don't understand what you mean.
Who are you? You said I feel guilty. Who is feeling guilty?
Me. I just feel like he's not going to listen to me because.
But who are you?
I don't know.
What?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
So then how do you know you are feeling guilty?
Because I feel it in my heart.
And who is feeling in their heart?
I don't know. Me.
And who are you?
A mother, a wife.
Okay, so you told me you have children. You told me you're married, but you still didn't, and you told me your name. You still didn't tell me who you are.
I don't know how to explain who I am.
Then how do you know you feel guilty then?
I just feel something. I feel something in my heart.
And are you what you feel?
No,
So
I guess not.
And are you what you think?
No,
So why do you call those things you? Why do you say I feel guilty when there's no Monica there to feel guilty? Why are you identified with the thoughts and the feelings?
I don't know, because I have a heart.
But the heart just pump blood and give you some oxygen and all that. You're not. Are you your heart?
I guess not.
So who is feeling guilty?
I don't know. I guess it's just a feeling.
Right. Stop calling thoughts and feeling you. You're not the thoughts and you're not the feelings. All thoughts and all feelings are lies. The so-called good ones and the bad ones. Stop identifying with them, and they are convinced, trying to make you think God is like holding something against you because you only came to Him when you had pain. That doesn't make sense. There is no Monica.
I never looked at it like that.
Drop those thoughts and drop those pains, and don't call them you, because every time you believe them, you're drinking poison. All thoughts are all lies. Stop drinking the poison.
Then what should I do?
Just live.
Just live.
That's all you do. Be present. Practice being present. Do the silent prayer so you can be present rather than lost in your imagination in those thoughts. Those thoughts are where evil lives. And you're wishing thoughts when you believe them. You're wishing the devil. The devil is your God.
Okay. Well, I don't want the devil to be my God.
Then stop believing him and stop calling him you. Never again say, I feel pain, I feel good, I feel this, and I feel that, or I thought this, and I thought that. It's not you. You identify with the devil when you attach yourself to him like that. And every time you do it, Monica, you're dying.
You're right. You're right.
What a mess!
Well, I love watching your shows, and sometimes I wish I could be sitting next to you when you're talking to people, and they think that you're asking them trick questions, and they don't want to answer. I think it's hilarious.
It's amazing. So it's time for you. Which do you accept? That you are a sinner, or all your sins have been forgiven?
Well, I don't think my sin's been forgiven, but I try not to sin.
Why you don't believe your sins have been forgiven?
Because what makes me special to God that my sins are going to be forgiven.
He loves you. And he said all your sins have been forgiven. Why don't you believe him about that rather than believing the devil that you're a sinner?
Well, I know the devil's working hard on me.
Why do you believe the devil that you're a sinner when God says all your sins have been forgiven?
I don't know. But how do I know that God forgives me?
He said it.
Well, that's good to know.
But why don't you believe it? Why are you believing the devil and not God?
I don't believe the devil.
Then why you call yourself a sinner then?
Because I have sinned.
But God has forgiven you for that and wiped them all away. They don't exist anymore anywhere but in your mind. And it's the devil that's reminding you in your mind. God is not reminding you. They've all been wiped away. And now, have you forgiven your mother? You dropped your anger?
Yeah, I forgive her.
You told her?
No, I didn't have a chance to.
Why not?
She died.
She did.
Mm-hmm.
Well, realize just as you couldn't help yourself when you were a sinner, your mother could not help herself. And forgive her as God has forgiven you.
Yeah.
And do the silent prayer, rebuildingtheman.com, and you'll be fine. And stop calling yourself a sinner.
I have a sister who had it worse from my mom, and she lives with a lot of anger. And I wish I try to get to her to make her understand to forgive, but I can't get through to her. She's
don't even try. You're not supposed to try to get to her. Let her suffer in her hell. You just work on.
I don't want her to suffer.
Why not? She wants to suffer.
I want her to be happy.
But why do you want something that she doesn't want?
Well, is there anything you can tell me I could tell her just to help her?
Yeah.
Forgive her, my mom.
Yes. Tell her either you forgive my mother or you suffer. And then leave her alone and let her suffer.
My mom was evil.
Right. I know that. And your sister may love being evil as well. And there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing God can do about it until she can admit she's evil and she want to forgive, and God will bring her through it.
I don't think she's evil.
No, she's evil. No human beings are good.
I think I have really good sisters.
No, they're evil.
Well, I have two sisters that are really, really, really good-hearted, good people, good women.
No. They were doing that because they were trying to cover up their evil, and because they did something nice, you call them good.
They have the goodest hearts. My sister would do anything for anybody. I'm not talking about the one sister.
Right.
Anger.
Let me do this because of time. But she'll do anything but forgive.
I know. I've been trying to talk to her, but
your one sister that does anything for anybody. She would do anything for anybody but forgive. She won't drop her anger.
No, that sister don't have anger.
Oh, how she overcame?
Yes.
She forgave your mother?
Yes.
Good. Well, why don't you forgive?
I guess I do forgive her. I mean, she had probably the hard life too, and I guess
she did.
The reason she was raised bad, but I just want my other sister to forgive her.
Why do you want something they don't want? Just work on you. You notice that God is letting your other sister live in her hell because your other sister doesn't want to overcome hell?
I have really good sisters.
No
They're really
such
good
thing.
women. They're really good women. They take care of their kids. They want to obey their husbands, but some of them got losers. But
let me do this because of time. I want you to call me again, but for now, go to rebuildingtheman.com/prayer. I want you to start doing that and stay out of your imagination. Don't call it you. Don't call those emotions you. They're all evil, so that God can take them away from you, all right?
Okay. Thank you.
Call me again.
I will.
Okay. Bye now.
Bye.
So some of you know that yesterday, some of you know. Oh, shoot, no, but you never know. President Donald Trump was sworn in as president of this great nation. And here is a recap from president's inauguration. This is from 6 ABC Philly. Watch this.
Yeah, a lot happening here in the nation's capital tonight. The President Trump, now the 47th president, has signed a slew of executive orders, including withdrawing from the World Health Organization, also pardoning some 1,500 people who were arrested for their roles on the January 6th attack on the Capitol. The Capitol is where this day began when the president took his second oath of office.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
A return to power as Donald Trump was sworn in as the 47th president inside the Capitol Rotunda at noon today.
From this moment on, America's decline is over.
He spoke before a few hundred members of Congress, dignitaries and supporters, much smaller than a typical inauguration after it was moved inside because of the frigid weather. During his 30-minute address, he talked about a wide range of issues, including the assassination attempt in Pennsylvania. He said he'll declare a national emergency at the southern border. He talked about the fires burning in Los Angeles and even touched on gender identity.
As of today, it will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
We must be honest about the challenges we face.
Supporters gathered outside the Capitol during the speech, watching it on cell phones.
We had to modify our own approach, so we set up the cell phone. We watched the entire swearing-in ceremony.
Everybody just kind of rolled with the punches and said, well, I guess, hey, it's better to be here than anywhere else.
The president also spoke at Emancipation Hall and left the Capitol for Capital One Arena for another rally and an indoor parade.
So I'm revoking nearly 80 destructive, radical executive actions of the previous administration. They'll all be null and void within about, 5 minutes? Is that them over there? 5 minutes?
The president signed so many executive orders yesterday, it makes your head swim. Makes you want to slap your mama. He signed so many executive orders. Very interesting. And he signed one of those orders where you may have to send the anchor baby. Anchor baby may have to go back to wherever he came from. Your mama walked across the border and dropped you in America, right?
Yeah.
What country?
I heard he got rid of birthright citizenship already.
Well,
if not, he's already started it.
He signed an executive order to get rid of it, and now they have to go to court and challenge it.
So that's it. I'm of the last anchor babies. And I might not even make it. I might be one of these crying migrants. You seen these? I might end up crying like some of these. You hear about these migrants that got right at the border? They canceled CBP-1, and they started crying. They sent them right back.
Oh,
they were at the border waiting.
Across?
They couldn't come across.
Nice.
So I'm going to be maybe with them.
Yeah.
I'll let you know.
If you have to go to court, I'll go there and testify.
Nah, Jesse, this is my cross to bear.
I'll let them know you've been fighting. You are the American anchorman. You've been fighting for America for years now.
Hey, I'll be happy to give up my citizenship. Just let me work here. Let me stay. I was talking tough, but...
So those people had to go back?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. And
wow.
It said that they all started crying at the border.
I bet they did.
Yeah.
Amazing. And so it was very, very interesting yesterday. I didn't watch the whole thing. Who had time to watch the whole thing? You know what I mean? But it was interesting. It's amazing that Donald Trump is now the president. I was concerned at one time because I remember I was hoping that nothing happened to Biden when he had to resign from president or anything so that Camilla could not become the president. And what made me think about that is that there was a black guy on CNN or one of those shows, and he was saying that Biden should step aside and let Kamala Harris be president so that they can say that they had the first black female president. And I'm like, can you be any dumber than that? You go step aside just because you want DEI? That didn't make sense. So I was hoping nothing happened to Biden before Trump got in. There was a pastor, and I didn't see this, so this is my first time seeing it. My producer was telling me about it this morning. By the name of Lorenzo Sewell. And he delivered a quote-unquote passionate benediction. Watch this from X.
Let freedom ring, and because America is called to be a great nation, we believe that you will make this come true. So let freedom ring. From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire, let freedom ring. From the mighty mountains of New York, let freedom ring. From the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania, let freedom ring. From the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado, let freedom ring. From the curvaceous hilltops of California, but God, we're asking you not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and every molehill in Mississippi, from every state, every city, every village, and every hamlet. And when we let freedom ring, we will be able to speed up that day where all of your children, black men and white men, Protestant and Catholic, Jew and Gentile, will be able to sing in the meaning of that old Negro spiritual, free at last. Free at last. Thank you, God Almighty. We are free at last.
What the? That ain't no benediction. That's so, what a beta. Beta! That's so dumb it make my stomach hurt. Why they let him get up and do that? I wonder if the organizer or whomever invited this guy that know he was gonna do that. My producer, he set us back about 100 years. What are you trying to act like he Martin Luther King? Martin Luther King was a socialist. He was at this guy's at the wrong party. What the? That ain't no benediction. The benediction is like, bow your head. God, thank you for President Trump. We really wish him well. And we pray that he get what he needs to do done. Amen. What was all that about? And why was he looking up? Or maybe you're looking for Martin Luther King. What the? Is that Martin Luther King's son or something? That is not a passionate benediction. That was dumb. That was so dumb it made my stomach hurt. It's so crazy. I almost want to be embarrassed for him. I bet the white people are acting like they love it. Oh, that was just so good. Oh, God. Wow. Why was he looking up? And what was he looking for? And why that speech? That wasn't no benediction. That was a dumb Martin Luther King speech. God help the blacks. They don't know what to do. That was dumb. But anyway, wow, I'm glad I didn't see it. Joel Friday said he making black people look worse. He is. Black people, can't y'all do things like in a normal way? Why you gotta be black with everything? This wasn't Martin Luther King event. This was President Donald Trump event. This guy was at the wrong party. Lord. That was awful. That was so bad, I can't. I'm sorry I saw it. Really, I'm going to have to fire my producer for showing me that one. Do not play that, Joel Friday. Play it again. Ain't no way, Joel. I can only take it once. That's awful. Poor black people. Don't blame them. They were born with DEI in their foot, in their mouth. That was awful. That was just awful. As awful as this can get. Some people think that Elon Musk threw up a Hitler salute. I've not seen this either, but they're saying that Elon Musk, news outlet said Elon Musk threw up a Hitler salute. Watch this from X.
And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
That's right, Elon.
My heart goes out to you.
That wasn't no Hitler. That was a manly heart goes out to you with strength. Everything ain't Hitler. What the? They got to have something to complain about. Everything that this administration does, believe me, the other side going to be complaining about it for the next 4 years. So get ready. It doesn't matter how good it is, if it works or not, they're going to complain because they don't want to see it work. It's unfortunate, but they don't want to see it work. Amazing. That ain't no Hitler sign. That was, my heart goes out to you. Thank you. I want to, before I go back to the phones, and I want to show you this. In spite of, and remember I said human beings are evil, they're nasty, they're wicked. No such thing as a good human being until they return to the Father and their nature changed from evil to good. And that's rare. Don't look for it. It's rare. They are evil. You saw an amazing event yesterday. You saw what appears to be a man who's going to do all he can to make America great again, meaning bring back jobs and opportunities, shut down the borders, do the best he can to stop all the crime that's in our country, and other things, regulations and restrictions and all that kind of stuff, right? Make America great again, whereas the whole wide world will respect America again. And it was an amazing event yesterday. And anyone that was watching that event could have appreciated it, however long you watched it, what part you watched it, whatever part you watched it. But because human nature is evil, and there are people into color rather than what is right, and they refuse to become one nation under God. And they are always looking for something to complain about, victimhood, DEI kind of thing, right? In spite of an amazing inauguration yesterday, CBS hosts complained they saw too many white people. Now, remind you, you're in a white country. Majority of the people are white. And they're like, too many white people. I want you to watch this from CBS. Amazing.
You guys, I have to say, I'm looking at this crowd. I do not see many people of color. Has anybody else besides me observed that? I'm fascinated by why that is.
On Martin Luther King Jr. Day, the most notable and one of the most high-ranking is Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, first black woman to serve on the U.S. Supreme Court, notably appointed by Joe Biden as he wanted to follow in the footsteps of Jimmy Carter and appointing a number of women and black women to the federal judgeships.
General Brown, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, is probably there. In fact, that might be the side of his head. No, because he's, well, I can't tell what uniform that is. I can't tell from this. But he was undoubtedly there.
Yeah, I saw Jim Clyburn.
They're sitting there talking about white people, too many white people. Can you get into evil? Now do you believe me when I say human nature is evil? If black people wanted to go, they could have bought a ticket and went and gone and had fun or whatever. Black people are stuck on and not all, on the Democratic plantation. Some will start to walk away from the plantation. But nobody stopped them from going to the event. And the event was not about color. It was about making America great again for all. But these people don't want you to get away from that. They want you to think it's about color because they're wicked. Now do you believe me when I say human beings are evil? They hurt one another. They're jealous and revengeful, strife, angry, lonely, lost. They're sitting there talking about, I don't see many black people, something like that, too many white people. Why are they allowed to be reporters or hosts of any show? What a mess, huh? And black people, they're not saying that because they love you. They're saying that because they want to pretend they love you so you can vote for the Democratic Party. Control. It's about that. They had one black man up there and they asked him to do the benediction. And look what he did. He gave Martin Luther King speaking something. And it wasn't even Martin Luther King event. It was Donald Trump event. Dummy. He ain't even do the benediction. He looked crazy and screaming Martin Luther King's speech. Talk about the old Negro hymn or something. Old Negro song. What do you say, Derek? Old Negro spirit. Why they let him do it? They had one black there. Look how he acted. White people don't like that kind of stuff. Looking up at the sky. What are you looking at? If ever. Look at that. Frowning. Like he Martin Luther King.
State, every city, every village, and every hamlet.
Lord have mercy. Help us, Lord. Amazing. 888-77. This is human nature. In your family, in you, if you're not overcome. In your family, your friendship, your marriages, your children, your co-workers, your bosses, your government, your churches. Amazing. I wonder if when that boy went home, did his mama say, Sewell, what were you doing? What was on your mind? You weren't at a Martin Luther King parade. Look at the white people in the church. Poor white. They're like, Lord, we don't know what to do with these black. Let's just close our eye so he don't see that we're wondering, what the? Let me go to Brian out of Miami, Florida. Brian, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Oh, God bless you, man. God bless the show. This is awesome.
Thank you.
Overcoming, man. I can see how female thoughts make men and have made me. It's like things don't go the way your devil set you up with an expectation. The things don't happen the way you expect them, and then out comes mama. You start crying, you start whining, you start complaining. Oh my God, it's like amazing.
Well, they are evil thoughts. They're not the female natural way of thinking. It's the abnormal, and the devil worked through the mama to pass that on to the boys and the girls, to the children. But it's really devil. It's the spirit of evil.
Yes, sir. Amazing.
Amazing.
My question. As I overcome, I get more, what's the word? Like business ideas, like how you have the like club for men to start businesses and stuff like that. Like as I grow and get older, I start seeing more like entrepreneurial things that I can do. And what I see happening, Jesse, is like I get so caught up in the different business ideas and things that I want to do that when I'm at work, sometimes I get like careless, meaning like I'm looking up stuff on my phone or I'm doing stuff in different, like, you know, they got the applications in the phone, and I'm preoccupied with my own, like, I'm trying to start my own business while I'm at work, and I feel.
Stop that immediately. You stay away from the thoughts that are tempting you to do that. When you're at work, you're there to do your job at work. You promise the man that if he pay you X amount of money, you're going to do X amount of work. So you do that. And then when you are off work or lunchtime or you get off work, then you focus on doing your own business, either starting your business or doing your own business. But if you don't do it in the right way, whatever you do to this boss that you have is going to be done to you because you're bringing it upon yourself. Right. So stay out of your head with all those ideas. They're not from God, and they're not from you. You have to do all things in moderation. Then you can't go wrong. Helpful. Yeah, then you can't go wrong. It'll work for you. I remember when I started my first business, I had a job working at the hospital, and I would go to work. I had to be there like 6 a.m., I believe, something like that. And I would work. And when I got off work is when I was focused on my own business. But I did right by the boss so that right would come back to me, and it did. What you do to others, you're doing it to you. When you do it to others where you hate or you are jealous or envious or whatever, you're really, really doing it to yourself. It feels like you're doing it to the boss or to someone else, but you're really doing it to yourself. That's why what you put out come back on you.
Amazing.
So you cut that out immediately, and we get off work. That's when you focus on your business, and don't go with all these ideas that Satan put in your mind. Just take one idea. Let's say you want to start a business, just one step at a time, and work on that. And the light of the Father will lead you into something else and something else as to how to make the business work. You'll be fine, all right?
Amazing.
Amazing.
This is very helpful.
Right on. Are you doing the silent prayer?
Yes, sir. 3 times. Hey, I get it at lunch, man.
Right on. You stay with that.
It ain't no game, man. It's like, dude, you got to be like, Satan is crafty, man. He come with you Satan got like very creative ways to get at you, man. So
right. So
3 times a day.
That's why you don't listen to those thoughts, because those thoughts, the voices, and those emotions are not yours. None of them. They're not from you at all. So let them pass. All right?
Yes, sir.
All right, Brian. I wish you well, man.
Amazing.
Amazing. Take care. Amazing. During the inauguration ceremony, there was a time when they had a little event at a Catholic church there in D.C., I guess. Yeah, in D.C. And they had a female preacher, so-called female preacher. Female preachers are just an illusion, by the way. It's not real. Just because the people say they're female preachers doesn't mean that they really are. But they had a female Catholic preacher who was as thick as the Pope. And it was disgusting. It was hell on earth. I really thought when watching this, or while watching this, I thought Donald Trump literally, and his whole administration, his family and everybody should have just gotten up and walked out. There would have been nothing wrong with that. While this female up talking her evil mess, her wicked language, her wicked words, they should have just gotten up and walked out. There was no reason, no obligation to sit there and let the daughter of Satan speak lies. And then I saw later on CNN talking about compassion, mercy or something. This woman wasn't no mercy if it slapped her in the face. But Donald Trump really should have just walked out. Oh, I'm being told that it was an Episcopalian preacher woman, not a Catholic. Why she had on Catholic clothes? Why did she have on Catholic clothes? Because she made herself look like a Catholic instead of an Episcopalian. So this was an Episcopalian woman calling herself a preacher. Episcopalian. You said Episcopalian? Oh, okay, I'm listening in my ears right now. And my producer told me it wasn't a Catholic woman, it was a Episcopalian woman. No wonder. Wonder. What? Episcopalian. Episcopalian. She was pissed because she wasn't compelling. Whatever. They should have walked out on her. Whatever it was. Really, the president should just say, okay, gang, let's go. In case you missed it, this is from the Hill. The Reverend, so-called Reverend, I say co-called Reverend, of the National Cathedral Prayer Service for the inauguration call on President Trump. So, there isn't Cathedral is a Catholic church? Oh, okay. No, not necessarily, he's telling me. So this so-called reverend, no such thing as a real female reverend. God does not use females to lead, by the way. The so-called reverend at the National Cathedral Prayer Service for the inauguration called on President Trump to have mercy on transgenders, children, and immigrants, family, in her quote-unquote sermon on Tuesday. Watch this from X.
In the name of our God, I ask you.
She's talking about Satan.
To have mercy upon the people
Her God.
in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families.
Look at it.
Some
JD like,
who
what
fear
the?
for their lives. The people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meat packing plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals, they may not be citizens or have the proper documentation, but the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals. I ask you to have mercy, Mr. President, on those in our communities whose children fear that their parents will be taken away, and that you help those who are fleeing war zones and persecution in their own lands to find compassion and welcome here. Our God teaches us that we are to be merciful
Talk about Satan.
to the stranger for the good of all people and the world. Amen.
Trump literally should have given her the finger while walking out. Really? Oh, okay. Bye, bitch. And just walked out. Because that's evil. That's evil on earth. And you cannot play with evil. Evil made a promise that it's going to rob, steal, and kill, and destroy. This woman is evil. This female woman is evil. Pure evil. And so Trump, the Great White Hope, responded to this female on Truth Social. Watch this from Fox News.
Joe, the president has already responded to this, saying, quote, the so-called bishop who spoke at the National Prayer Service on Tuesday morning was a radical left hardline Trump hater. She brought her church into the world of politics in a very ungracious way. So I guess there's a first time for everything, including being attacked at church.
Amazing. This is why men, preacher men, policemen, president men, whatever men, you're not supposed to put women in leadership. This is what you get. They don't know how to lead in the right way. They really just don't know because they're like into their imagination and emotions. They just don't know they're evil. He should not have put her up there. Whoever put her up there. But he should have just given her the finger and left. Really. He would have not been wrong. You got to say no to the devil. You got to say no to the devil. In the same way, if you want to be free, but if you don't want to be free, you don't have to. You have to resist temptation of thoughts. You have to say no to the devil. The devil operates in your mind by tempting you with thoughts and feelings. And you got to say no. Get behind me, devil. He really should have just given her the finger. He would not have been wrong. And the whole world would have applauded him for it. What a mess. Thank God that he made our bodies the church. And in that body, you should worship him within. Amazing stuff, huh? What a wicked female. A daughter of the devil. I told you that the evil come through the woman until she repent and return to the Father. And that's why they're putting women in all these places, because they know that evil come through the woman. They know it. And then they make the woman look like the victim, so you can't, don't tell the woman the truth. Don't be hard on the woman. Don't be hard on Satan, they are saying. This woman is evil, pure evil. standing as an Episcopalian church. Of all time to put the devil up there, they did. They chose that moment and promoted evil. This woman has no mercy. She doesn't know what love is, has no love. She doesn't care two pennies about the illegal aliens or anyone else, and especially the American citizens, because otherwise you've been thinking Trump. If she put home first. So I'm being told that Tucker Carlson was raised Episcopalian, and he joked that it's not like real Christianity. Evidently. But Trump responded to her. She talked about some in Jesus' name. Amen. What the? That's what Joel Friday is telling me. This is evil. And this is in the pulpit of the churches now, where you put women up there. Satan worked through them, and that's why the church is weaker. The church is not getting stronger under the leadership of females, so-called leadership. They're getting all the churches, Baptist, Catholic, Episcopalians, Mormon, Alawaba churches, or however the churches out there, Satan churches, the atheist churches. They're all weaker now. They're not stronger. The whole country is weaker as you put women in leadership. You're trying to make something work that is not going to work, can't work. And the ladies that are waking up, they know it. They'll tell you. In the good old days, women would say, no, I don't want to work for no woman. I'm not going to work for a woman, they say. I got to tell you this, that some of you may have heard about it, maybe everybody by now. President Trump defends his decision to pardon the January 6th people. They are free. He pardoned them all, as far as I know, everybody. The January 6th people are free. Here's where Trump explained to a reporter why the Vice President J.D. Vance was wrong about not pardoning violence January 6ers. Watch this.
More than 400 of the people that you pardoned, though, assaulted officers. So I want to ask you about the Vice President, J.D. Vance. He said, this is a week ago, he said, if you committed violence on January 6th, obviously you should not be pardoned. Why is your Vice President wrong?
Well, only for one reason. They've served years in jail. They should not have served, and they've served years in jail, and murderers don't even go to jail in this country. And we had 1,500. We have 16 under review. As you know, we commuted about 16 of them because it looks like they could have done things that were not acceptable for a full pardon. But these people have served years of jail, and their lives have been ruined. And in many cases, listen to me for a second. Stop interrupting. They've served years in jail, and if you look at the American public is tired of it.
Fed up. These last 4 years have been a nightmare for most people. Trump says murderers today aren't charged. Watch this from Fox News.
Among those you pardoned, DJ Rodriguez, he drove a stun gun into the neck of a D.C. police officer who was abducted by the mob that day. He later confessed on video to the FBI and pleaded guilty for his crimes. Why does he deserve a pardon?
Well, I don't know. Was it a pardon? Because we're looking at commutes and we're looking at pardons. Okay, well, we'll take a look at everything. But I can say this. Murderers today are not even charged. You have murderers that aren't charged all over. You take a look at what's gone on in Philadelphia. Take a look at what's gone on in L.A., where people murder people and they don't get charged. These people have already served years in prison, and they've served them viciously. It's a disgusting prison. It's been horrible. It's inhumane. It's been a terrible, terrible thing. I also say this. You go to Portland, where they wrapped police officers, shot police officers, nothing happened to anybody. You go to Seattle, where they took over a big chunk of the city and people died. Portland, a lot of people died. Wait a minute. And you go also, take a look at Minneapolis, because I was there and I watched it. And if I didn't bring in the National Guard, that city wouldn't even exist today. People were killed and nobody went to jail.
Amazing. If ever Amazing, huh? Trump says Biden gave pardons to criminals.
So these people have already served a long period of time, and I made a decision to give a pardon. Joe Biden gave a pardon yesterday to a lot of criminals. These are criminals that he gave a pardon to. And you should be asking that question. Why did he give a pardon to all of these people that committed crimes? Why did he give a pardon to the J6 Unselect Committee when they burned and destroyed all documents which showed that they did what was wrong, not me? Wait a minute. Why did they give a pardon to all of his relatives, his brother who made millions of dollars, to all these different people? He gave pardons. That's the question you should.
Amazing, huh? And last but not least, during an interview at the Oval Office yesterday, Trump suggested a possible prosecution for Biden. Ooh, what's this?
All right, President Trump joined Hannity for the first Oval Office interview of his second term, taking time to chastise Biden for handing down those last-minute pardons to his family.
I was given the option. They said, sir, would you like to pardon everybody, including yourself? I said, I'm not going to pardon anybody. We didn't do anything wrong. This guy went around giving everybody pardons. And you know, the funny thing, maybe the sad thing, is he didn't give himself a pardon. And if you look at it, it all had to do with him.
What a mess. I suggest you look within and live from within. And whatever happens outside of you into the world, let the world suffer. Give the world a finger and let them live in their misery. You could see your hell on earth, or you could have paradise right here on earth. It's done. It's finished. It's done. Revelation 21:6. It is done. It's finished. There's a new kingdom. There is a kingdom of heaven within you. And everything you want is in you. It's not outside of you. It's in you. Your hell is even in you. And you can't blame anyone for it because you're the one that will not overcome it. You love your misery. You love crying. You love feeling bad for yourself and others. You love this, you love that, and you love it. And that's why you got the kind of government you have, because that's how you are. You pick the kind of husband or wife that you are. You're doing it to yourself. Our parents are responsible for us when we were little children. But as adults, each individual is responsible for themselves. Nobody else is. And only blind people blame others for their misery. Whenever you hear somebody blaming somebody else for the way you think and the way you feel, and, oh, you make me feel this way, you did this, you don't make me feel good, you do this. They're blind. They cannot see. Why not take control of your own world? Live from your world from within. Why not control your own world? What's wrong with being free? It's done. You could be free. It's Thursday. It's the third hour of Thursday already. And every Thursday is, let it be known, let it be said, let it be written, is and will always be Bible Thumper Thursday.
Let freedom ring from the curvaceous hilltops of California. But God, we're asking you not only that. Let freedom ring from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. speed up that game. All of your children, black men and white men, Protestants and Catholic, be able to sing in the meaning of that old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last.
What a mess. Can you read Trump mind? What a mess. Where did this come from? What's wrong with that man? Why? Who decided to pick that guy to speak at the inauguration event? Who made that? That person needs to be fired from event organizer, whatever they call it. And what's wrong with that guy, the black guy, carrying on like that? This wasn't no Martin Luther King parade over in South Central L.A. What a mess, huh? Whoever put that guy on the speaking thing, the event planner for that, need to be fired. And fire the guy, too. Talk about insanity. That was crazy. That was like lunatic crazy. That was like Mamma Mia, oh la si senor, galoshes crazy. Wow. That was like nigga rah-rah crazy. What the Anchor Baby put that together. Very good job, Anchor Baby. Thank you. And for all those folks who think that black people don't do school shooting, allegedly there was a school shooting, and allegedly it was done by a black guy. ABC is reporting that a shooting at Antioch High School, I heard this on the hate news this morning. My producer gave it to me as well, but I heard on the hate news, not the fake news this morning, according to, a shooting at Antioch High School near Nashville, Tennessee on Wednesday. It left one student dead and another wounded. The shooter, also a student, then turned the gun on himself. Watch this from ABC News.
Tonight, this is the terrifying moment inside a Nashville area high school cafeteria, seen in a video posted on Citizen app, when police say 17-year-old student Solomon Henderson opened fire with a pistol, killing 16-year-old Jocelyn Escalante.
He entered into the cafeteria, firing multiple rounds in the cafeteria, striking her, and then before pulling the weapon on himself.
Another male student was grazed by a bullet. Just after 11 a.m., SWAT teams is swarming Antioch High School with nearly 2,000 students inside.
All of a sudden, we was hearing, oh, it's a shooting. And then everybody was just panicking. And
frantic students barricading themselves in classrooms.
we had tables, desks, chairs. We had the method where you put a chair inside the door where you lock it down.
Family and friends flooded with texts from students inside.
He was sitting at a table right next to the shooter, and when the shooter brought out his gun, he would start waving it at the students before he shot the two students.
Outside, a massive crowd of parents desperate to reunite with their children.
My son is not going here no more. No, this is devastating, and they won't even let me go get him.
Frantic. I mean, just chaos. Chaos, complete chaos.
What a mess, huh? Remember the good old days when we not even thought about guns at school or shooting somebody at school. We didn't have metal detection and all that kind of stuff. Remember those good old days? When the boys were boys and men were men. This is going to continue because they have female principals and mostly female teachers. It's not going to stop. Mama spirit is everywhere. It's not going to end. And the world want to make sure it doesn't end by putting women in charge. If the kids are angry at mama at home, what do you think going to be happening at school? The deceased victim, a 16-year-old girl, and the shooter have been identified. Watch this from National Desk. The National Desk.
Now to new developments in the tragedy in Tennessee today. The victim of the Antioch school shooting just identified here tonight as 16-year-old Jocelyn Escalante. Her family saying they are just devastated, but also here calling for more school security on that campus. They describe her as kind and loving, Police also today just identifying the alleged shooter in this case as 17-year-old Solomon Henderson. Now, officials say he arrived at that school by bus, went into a school bathroom, came out with a pistol, then started firing around the cafeteria. He then later turned the gun on himself. Police now say they are looking into this possible manifesto shared on a social media account that appears to be connected to that suspect.
What a mess, huh? He black. He look black. He almost look like a foreigner black, but I don't know. What a mess, huh? Relax, folks. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. It's not going to change until you bring back your order. This fake order is not going to work. It's just not going to work. In the government, they passed a bill or some type of law that says men cannot play in women's sport. How about passing a law that says women cannot play in men's sport? Why not pass a law that says the school must have men principals and teachers? Why you pretend you want things to get better and everything you do make it worse? You're setting it up where it won't get better by putting women in charge. Women were not created to lead. They were created to follow. And by you put them in so-called leadership position, it ain't going to work. Just like a man in a woman's sport going to beat the woman in the sport. Women being put in men positions, the man going to always beat her in it, but it ain't going to work if you put her there. But do what you want. You can overcome the world, though. Christ came that you might overcome the world. Another example of not putting women in control. It ain't going to work. CBS is reporting that a Florida police officer has been fired after she accidentally shot a driver with his own gun during a traffic stop. Watch this from X.
He's very compliant. He does have a pistol on him, so where's your pistol at? On my side. Okay. So the hands on top of the vehicle. I appreciate that being very honest. Oh yeah. Oh shit. You okay? Put the gun down. Put it down.
Oh, you gotta tell the police to put the gun down. And there's some, she done got the gun and shot the man accidentally, allegedly, in the leg. Somewhere. In the leg. And she had fingernail polish on her hand. Now do you believe me when I say women were not created to lead? Things are only gonna get worse. I read a report, or heard a report that the president has removed from the embassies, American embassies around the world. He has removed all the flags except the American flag. No more Black Lives Matter flag. No more LGBTQ flag on the pole at the embassies. No more embarrassing America. We got to do the same thing with the women. We got to bring the women back home and put the men back in charge. It ain't going to work, people. Let them call you misogynist. Let them call you whatever name they want to call you. But you got to do what's right in order for it to work. 1 Timothy said in chapter 2, verse 12 to 13, I give no permission for a woman to teach or to have authority over a man. I give no permission, zero permission. Every time you listen to a woman, you're going to suffer. I give no permission for a woman to teach or to have authority over a man. A woman ought to be quiet. How many times you want to tell your woman to shut up? He ought to just shut up and sit down. A woman ought to be quiet because Adam was formed first and Eve afterward. What's wrong with that order? Why not just do it since you see the other way is not going to work? It's like when I tell people, come out of your thoughts. They're not your own. It's not going to work. And some people are like, oh, you crazy. And some people do it, and they like, wow, you heard a young lady call this morning, Brittany, I think her name was. She's like, you know what? It's amazing living in the present. Come out of your thought. That's the only thing going to work. The world tell you, live in your thoughts. I tell you to come out of them. God tell you to come out of them. And 1 Timothy 2, 12-13 said, I give no permission for a woman to teach or to have authority over a man. A woman ought to be quiet because Adam was formed first and Eve afterward. But no! Women are not even supposed to be teaching women. A woman don't know what to tell a woman. She's going to do all these bad ideas, and then she's going to come home mad at you, the husband, because you listened to some woman. He need to pay attention to your emotions. He doesn't care about your feelings. He doesn't care about your emotions. And your emotions not even yours. I want to remind you, and if you work on yourself, you'll discover this. But if you don't, you're never going to know. You'll hear me say it, and intellectually you may or may not believe it, but you won't see the reality of it unless you work on yourself. You pay attention to you. And you will see what's going on. But you got to let go so you can see. You got to let go so that you can see. Do what you want. Really. It's no bother for me or God or anyone that if you decide you don't want to work on yourself, you love your hell, you want to stay in it. You love your false self. You love crying. You love being mad. You love being afraid. You love being desperate. You can totally stay that way. And if you notice, God will let you die that way. He will let you live the rest of your time on earth in all those emotions, fear and jealousy, envy, strife, revenge, judgment, anger, whatever, right? He'll let you just live that way. And you'll be one, and then if you make kids, you'll start a new generation of hell. And he'll just let it happen. And then you wonder, why does God let bad things happen to good people? God is not letting bad things happen to good people. Bad things are happening to bad people. No such thing as bad things are happening to good people. That's another lie, right? Bad things happen to bad people. Oh, she was a good woman, a good person. And then also, why was she good? Oh, she always cared. She was always there. She was always there when you need, or he was always there when you need him. He was such a good person, and you call that good. And you base that by saying, why did God let bad things happen to good people? Your ideas of good are wrong. What the? But it's up to you. Really. You can live in your hell. You can live in time, because time is hell, past, future. You living in time, thinking about the past or the future, you're living in hell. Take no thought about tomorrow or yesterday, but you do it anyway, and you're living in hell. Amazing, huh? So it's up to you. It's totally up to you. Human beings are evil, and they love their evil ways. And they roam the earth, and they get a thrill out of trying to hurt somebody else with their evil ways. They call it life. They call it life. They call death life. You call death life when you worry, when you're afraid, when you're desperate, when you're shy, when you're emotional, when you cry, when you want to be like someone else, and all that. You call that life. When you think about the past, when you think about the future, you call it life. God called it hell, he called it death. That's why he said don't do it, but you want to do it anyway. You insist on thinking about the past or think about the future and calling hell heaven. Well, why don't we prepare for the future? Isn't today enough for you? You haven't even completed today and you're thinking about tomorrow, living in hell. Oh, Lord! One other quick thing, then I get to your calls and super chat. I want to know from you, is punishing your child like this necessary? Is this necessary? Is this wrong or right? And is it necessary to punish your child in this way? A father in Memphis, Tennessee, slaps his son for showing off a gun on Facebook. Watch this from Facebook.
Do it. Just for that. Now, come help. Come help. Man, quit playing with me. Come help him. These type of kids gonna get you off. That's what I'm saying. These your friends though. Your friend gonna get your ass beat. If you ever in your life listen to one of them and raise your hand at me, I will bury you and bury they dust that too.
Is that wrong? Is it necessary to slap him and say, N-word, I'll bury you? And bury their dusty butts too, your little friends. So apparently the boy showed his gun off on Facebook. And the father is ticked. According to this report, it's the father wrong. If that's the way to punish your son or daughter. Here's the top comments from under the YouTube video. Watch this.
So here they are. Here's the first one. Great parenting, setting him straight. This next one says, he's saving that boy's life. These are some of the top comments under the video. Two more here. This one's from Malia. I don't see nothing wrong. Pops is saving his son's life. And the last one here says, a father in 2025 that gives a beep about his son's future is a rare thing nowadays. Fathers who are not hard on their kids is reason number one why we have weak young men.
Amazing. What do y'all think? I want to hear from you. 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. And according to Action News, a Memphis father has been charged after he allegedly stormed into a Memphis high school to berate his son's classmate while carrying a gun. So apparently they reported that this guy had a gun on himself, and he went into the school and berated the kids who were, I guess, part of this video or whatever, and now he's been charged for going into the school with the gun. What a mess, huh? 888-7753-773. Jerome is out of New Jersey. Jerome, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse, how you doing? Happy Friday.
Thank you, Jerome. You too. Thank you.
Yeah. I had a question, but just a quick comment on what you were just saying. You know, I definitely think that father was right to discipline his son in that fashion.
And so you think he was right to slap him like that?
Yeah, you know, I mean, he picked up a gun, and you have to let the punishment fit the crime. And if you don't teach that boy the right way to go early, then, you know, we'll be sitting up here talking about how the blacks are violent and, you know, all they do is kill each other, you know, at a certain point. So, you know,
and do you think he was right for slapping, cursing at him as well?
Yeah, you got to put that fear in him. The physical is good, but you got to get into his head too and let him know that my father's not playing right now.
Amazing. So you think he was right?
Maybe not. I mean, what did he call him? The N-word? Maybe not the N-word so much. I don't know.
Which is worse, the name calling or the slapping?
I don't look at that as necessarily name calling, especially from my father.
I know, but which is worse, to call him the N-word or slap him in the face? Which is worse?
Well, that's the thing. I don't think it's a worse. Like which one? If I had to pick, it would probably be the name, but I don't really think it's a worse kind of situation.
Amazing. Okay,
Yeah.
I appreciate your feedback on that, Jerome.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Lindy, Lindy, you're on the air.
Hi, good morning, Jesse. How are you?
All is well, Lindy.
All right. So I was calling in to ask you a question about discipline, children's discipline.
Right.
As a mother or as a mom, do you think that it is good for a woman to discipline in any way? I've talked to my husband about this, and he said that as long as it's without anger. And I'm wondering your views and thoughts on that.
Yeah, you can do it without anger, but if you have a husband and he is the father, it's best to let the father do it. You tell the father how the kid's been acting up or whatever going on, whether it's good or bad, let the father handle it.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I think, so I'm going to be at home with the children and homeschooling and everything like that. My daughter, I just have one daughter now, and she's 9 months old.
Yeah.
And so we're not quite there yet.
Right.
But I do see that she has some behaviors already that you just need to be, kept in check,
but make sure you don't have anger so you continue to do it right. But let the kids know when they're of age, let them know, I'm going to let your daddy know you've been acting up today. And when the father get home, you report it to the father right in front of the children. And if he's working on himself, he would deal with it. And that way you keep that order. The kids will love the father, and they will love you for loving the father.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Right on. Lindy, I got to run, but do the silent prayer, work on you. You're going to be fine.
All right. Thank you.
Call me again.
All right. I will.
Okay.